video is going to be a tutorial for this rhinestone cat eye makeup for New Year's, and I've actually been wanting to try a look like this for a very long time. I figured what better night to wear rhinestones on your eyeballs than New Year's Eve, right? So I decided to do something different from the smoky eye looks that I've done in the past. The rhinestones that I used are actually these, they're from Michaels. It's the Recollections brand. And they just came in a pack like this. There's gold and clear and like gunmetal color, and then I use the black ones, and they come in a bunch of different sizes. I use the medium and the small. And just a heads up, if you do use rhinestones that come in a sheet like this that are like attached to a cellophane or something, you want to make sure to remove the adhesive backing on them before you apply them to your eye. It's really easy to do. I just took my tweezers and just kind of pinched the little adhesive strip on the back, and it comes right off. So it's pretty easy, but just wanted to give you guys a heads up about that. I was actually so surprised by how easy this was. I just sat down and I kind of winged it. Winged it. It was actually very easy. Like once you get going, it goes really quickly. I did black rhinestones, and I really like the black on black look. I think it makes it a little bit more wearable and also kind of gives that sequins type of effect. Almost looks like a black sequins, which I think screams New Year's Eve to me. So I think that's everything I wanted to mention before we get started, but tell me in the comments down below, what are your plans for New Year's? What are you going to be doing when the ball drops? I think I'm actually going to be headed down to see Lotus. So if you live in the Philly area and you're going to that show, maybe I will see you there. But anyways, back to the tutorial. If you want to see exactly how I got this look, then just keep watching. So I've already gone ahead and primed my lids using my Sigma eyeshadow base in Persuade. And next I'm going to take my MAC Vanilla Pigment, which looks like this. And I've got that on this Soft Focus Shader E52 brush. And I'm going to pat that all over my lid. And I'm just going to kind of apply this everywhere, actually bring it all the way up. Then I'm going to take a little bit more of this and pat it right in the center of my lid to highlight that area, and then tap it all the way up to my brow bone. You can kind of blend it out with your finger. And I'm going to pick up some of this Makeup Geek eyeshadow right here called Beaches and Cream, and a tiny bit of this one here called Peach Smoothie. Just blending that all over the brow bone. I'm going to take the matte side of my Sigma highlighting pencil, and you could have done this first actually, but I kind of forgot. So I'm going to apply that into the inner tear duct and then run it along the lower lash line like that. Taking this tapered P86 brush, and it's so soft so it doesn't irritate your eyes, but it really gets in there and blends out any kind of cream products or pencil. And I'm going to go back to our vanilla pigment for a second, just switching to a smaller brush. That is just going to concentrate the color a little bit more so we can apply it as our inner corner highlight. Just kind of run right over that highlighting pencil just to set it so it doesn't crease. Then lining my upper waterline with my L'Oreal, you guessed it, my L'Oreal Voluminous Smoldering eyeliner pencil. That way you don't have any like bare spots peeking through. I'm going to take my Scotch tape and tear off a tiny piece, about that big, stick it to the back of my hand, and then I want to line it up on the edge of my eye. Make sure it matches the other side. My Tarte Waterproof Amazonian Clay eyeliner, which is great for New Year's because it will last you all night long. It always pretty much starts out the same for me. I do a thinner line just to get our, base going. It's kind of nice because you don't have to worry about that bottom edge, and just makes it a lot easier. It's gonna make it a really accentuated shape. Think of kind of more of a rounder, thicker line. That is more of kind of like a retro rounded shape to it, where normally I do kind of like a little dip here. This just kind of comes straight across. Okay, so then you can remove your tape and you have that crisp bottom edge. Just like that. So I'm just going to give my lashes a quick curl with my MAC eyelash curler. Now if you're doing false lashes, you're going to want to get those on before you do your rhinestones, and then you don't have to worry about it. I'm just darkening my lashes with my Maybelline One By One. For my falsies, I'm using these Noir Fairy Lashes by House of Lashes, but I don't use tweezers. I usually just kind of press them right down into my lash line. And if they're scooting around too much, it means that the glue isn't tacky enough. So you can even just let them sit there if you feel like they're sliding around too much. Then once that glue starts to stick a little bit more, they become a lot easier to work with. So once we have those on there, I'm going to take my Makeup Forever Aqua liner and just paint right over the band to conceal the strip of lashes. And then I have all of my little rhinestones that I'm going to use on the top of this, well I guess it's actually on the bottom of this Dixie cup. I'm going to take another one and just put a bunch of glue on the bottom of that one. And we're gonna let that just sit there for a minute or so, for a couple minutes, so it gets nice and tacky. So I've got one of the little teeny tiny rhinestones. You can barely see it, but it's there. I have that in my tweezers here. Now I have a tiny little bit of that glue on just an old eyeliner brush. So I dipped it into my Duo Lash Adhesive, and I'm just going to paint some of that lash glue right onto the back of the rhinestone like that. You don't need a lot. So I'm not going to start at the very end of the wing because that would look a little strange. I'm just going to start at the point where I can kind of just fit that perfectly on there. As close as you can get to the wing of your eyeliner as you can. For me it was easiest just to kind of start in that outer corner and work inwards. And once you have them on, make sure to give them a little gentle tap just to kind of press them in so you know they're secure and they're not gonna pop off later in the night. And if you're having issues with them sticking, what I do is I get it on there, I press, and I don't lift my tweezers, but I open them and then I lift away. And that way they don't stick to your tweezers. And after 3 smaller ones on this side, I'm gonna switch to the medium size, which are a bit easier to apply. And just kind of get those, try to go as close to the lash line as you can. And as you can see, I'm not filling in the entire space with the rhinestones. I'm just doing 1 row of them, which pretty much fills it up. I mean, you can do a couple rows if you want, but I just feel like that would get a little heavy. And as we get closer to the inner corner, I'm going to switch back to the smaller rhinestones. Okay, and I'm gonna stop right there because if I come in any farther, I think it might be a little uncomfortable, like when you blink and stuff. I just want to smooth over that inner corner without it bleeding and running anywhere, so I'm gonna use my Maybelline Master Precise and just kind of connect the edge of that rhinestone down to the lash line just so it looks a little bit more smooth. I'm going to go back to that Maybelline One by One and apply that to my bottom lashes. So I held off on actually setting my foundation because I'm going to be using this bronzer, and it's actually kind of like a cream product. It's kind of like a balm. It's the Covergirl TruMagic the Sunkisser, and this is a tapered kabuki F86. And I've really been loving this because it gives a very diffused, very blended look, but the cool thing about it is because it is a balm, it's very lightweight, so it almost looks like just kind of gives that second skin type of look, so it doesn't look fake or powdery, and I really like that about it a lot. And you can kind of tilt your brush upwards a little bit so that it blends the top edge of your contour. Very lightly go around my hairline. Try not to mess up my hair too much. And this is a similar type of brush. It's kind of another synthetic, really dense, very soft brush. It is the P84. Dab off any excess onto my hand, and then I'm gonna use that to contour my nose. And then you can even go under your bottom lip. Then I'm going to take my Rimmel Stay Matte Powder. The shade that I use is Nude Beige. And the foundation that I actually used today was my Revlon Color Stay Whipped Cream Foundation. And sometimes I feel like I don't even need to set that, but I feel like it definitely does make it last a lot longer and tones down shine, especially in photographs if you're going out for New Year's and stuff like that. My MAC Mineralized Blush in Warm Soul. You could totally do a nude lip with this like I have going on right now. I'm wearing the Maybelline Color Whisper in Lust for Blush, and this is a really great color. But you probably want something a little bit more long lasting for New Year's. First I'm going to do some lip liner. This is Magenta by MAC. And I'm sure you guys already know what lipstick I'm gonna pick out, but I can't not wear this one. I feel like this Rhinestone eyeliner is just begging to be worn with some candy yum yum. I love this color so much. And I think that it's kind of fun to wear a color like this when everybody else is gonna be rocking the smoky eye nude lip combo, you know, dare to be different and wear something a little bit brighter. Now if you don't have this one, you could always head out to the drugstore and get yourself some of this lipstick by Milani. This one is called Rose Hip, and it's not an exact dupe for Candy Yum Yum, but it is pretty dang close, and I love this color too so much. And I would say that this one is actually a lot more comfortable to wear and a lot more moisturizing than the MAC version, and it's a lot more inexpensive, of course, so that's always nice. Keep in mind, you can totally wear any color lips with this eyeliner. So, you know, if you like the nude lips, you can picture it with that, or red, or purple, or blue, or whatever you want to do. But me, I love this color, so that's what I decided to wear with it. But that wraps up this video. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for all of the support and love that you've shown me throughout this past year, throughout 2013. And I cannot wait to see what 2014 brings. And I hope you guys have a blast on New Year's Eve. Keep it safe, but have a blast. And thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. And Happy New Year. Bye guys.